It took me 30 sets to be I sent to them for you like hater tourists and 30 just sets like Tebisha Canon to see if it takes 36 years to finally see Tom's Top Gun 2, a massive global aerial battle movie that has grossed over $1 billion globally. Just how charismatic is Tom, who remains with the flying squadron without changes? Now a test pilot, he rolls into the hangar area on a motorbike, kicking up dust. Lin Anping is releasing just the kind of ultra bomber from American military dreams, the Black Star. However, his friends tell him they've been grounded. Superiors are cutting budgets and directing funds to drone research unless this aircraft can make it to Smyrna.
Good night. Sly X6
That's how Tom did a physical test, donned a custom flight suit and prepared to defy orders for a test flight. With both engines successfully started, Tom piloted the Black Star towards the runway. Just then, it approached the gate and Tom had no choice but to soar through the clouds. Ascending to 60,000 feet, the Black Star accelerated to 3-point time. Speed by 5 Mach. Eventually, it streaked through the clouds at an astounding speed. Seeing gauges indicating it would soon reach 8 Mach before hitting 9 Mach. Under the sunset's reflection, the exterior of the Black Star heated rapidly at 9.5 popular 7.5 Mach. Tom became the fastest man alive, but he wanted to go faster, quickly reaching 9.8 Mach, then 9.9 Mach, with the plane still accelerating. Amidst the cheers, Tom continued to speed up. 10.1 Mach, 10.2 Mach.
You've got some balls, Dick Chucky. I'll give you that.
Initially, Maverick was going to be permanently grounded as a punishment for his actions. However, thanks to a call from Iceman, Maverick was reassigned to a mission in the Pacific Fleet. Iceman was a retired fleet commander there, and had once flown with Maverick as his wingman. They were like brothers. Soon, Maverick rode over to the Naval Air Squadron on his Kawasaki H-2. In the briefing room, his superiors explained the mission objectives. An illegal uranium enrichment facility was built in a mountainous area, surrounded by heat-seeking missiles and an airfield with Su-57 fighters ready for combat. 5th-generation stealth fighters, and yet the US military was assigning the 4th-generation F-18 F-18 Hornets for the mission. Maverick felt a sinking fear. This was undeniably a suicide mission, but the challenge only made him more excited. His task was not to fight directly, but to become an instructor to train pilots capable of carrying out the mission. The key issue was that one of the students was someone Maverick deeply wished to avoid, Rooster. Later, Maverick went to a bar to think over whether he should become an instructor. There, he encountered his ex-girlfriend Penny. As they caught up, the pilots from the mission list also began to arrive at the bar, one after another, including Rooster. Unsure of how to face him, Maverick left the bar. But as he reached the door, he heard Rooster playing and singing on the piano, which instantly brought back memories. Thank you. This song, the kid playing the piano, is his son Bradshaw, also known as Goose. 36 years ago, during a difficult mission, the commander sadly lost his life. In his profound grief, his wife pleaded with Brother Tom not to let their son become a pilot. Before this, Brother Tom had already decided to retire from the Naval Academy. Now, seeing new achievements in the Navy, Brother Tom is determined to help him become a true fighter pilot. This is the most outstanding fighter pilot graduate of the United States Pacific Fleet. Their real combat instructor is the one and only Brother Tom, who destroyed 3 enemy aircraft in 40 years. Brother Tom discarded the teaching plan. His method is to shatter the confidence of these arrogant students with real combat and then push them to constantly break through. 2 jets in one group, 1 lead plane and 1 support plane, fighting against Brother Tom. They bet that whoever is shot down must do 200 push-ups. The students thought it would be easy. Unexpectedly, Brother Tom accelerated and flew through 2 F-18s, scaring the first group of students. After scattering the formation, only the lead plane remained, and he quickly attacked, drawing Brother Tom away. Before long, he forced them to the danger altitude. A quick attack with full climb, just in time to enter Brother Tom's lead plane. The final 200 push-ups push-ups were completed. The second group joked about the attack before taking off, but ended up both being shot down and doing push-ups. The third group had a candidate nicknamed Bullet Hands and opted for a speed duel against Brother Tom, giving their opponent the lead plane first. Let's try Morel. Next, when Squirtle gave up on teasing the chicken, it went straight up, allowing Squirtle to deal with the teasing chicken first. Then, Squirtle planned to launch a yellow bird attack from behind, but unexpectedly, a tango charged straight into the sun. Squirtle quickly lost its target, and in a second, a tango appeared from the back. In the first sector battle, the second day when Squirtle and Naruto team were looking for a tango suddenly showed up. Hey, Xiaomao. The attacker didn't know why a tango blocked him from joining the Navy flying corps. He held a grudge, refusing to submit first in this competition.
Terrifying, 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 terrifying.
Bye-bye.
Stop thinking. Just go for it, Wester. You got it. Fall down. Too low to take the gun. It's too late. You won't make it. All right, thank you. Don't mention it.
A perfect counterattack. 上车才 evolved. Frozo's top-heavy eye. Sun Hua started by deeply explaining the attack. The fighter jet reached the designated spot for bombing within 3 minutes off. They must navigate the canyon at an altitude of only 100 feet at a speed of 600 knots to avoid being detected by radar. Otherwise, they'll be intercepted by missiles. Even if they avoid the missiles, they'll encounter 5th-generation fighter jets. The F-18 stands no chance against F-22. So surviving and completing the mission is not just about speed, but synchronization. Any error, whether from a missile or crashing into a cliff, will result in death. In the training, they only reached the target point, but he slowed down. It took 4 minutes. Tom thought being late would lead to encountering airborne F-22s, ending in death. But the attack was believed to be dependent on the pilot's maneuvers. Not necessarily fatal, but Tom was worried. He didn't know. That's it. See you tomorrow. Soldiers found Tom. I was saying, Mr. Bill Charlton, he was very ill, almost unable to speak. And put up by Cheryl Howard's lung block. Very close to that. They were old war comrades. How does Simpson name? So it function like the soldier knew Tom would rather go to battle himself than risk his attacker's life. The soldier told him, "It's time to let go."
If I send him on this mission, he might never come home. And if I don't send him, he'll never forgive me. Either way, I could lose him forever.
Respect.
The patient unraveled Ah Sang's heart knot, then the two shared a deep embrace. Ah Sang sat on the chair watching his students free flying on the beach. What he needed was not only technique but also teamwork. After relaxing, Ah Sang took Penny home from the bar. When they reached the door, Penny intentionally didn't close it. Penny had been divorced long ago and had been raising her daughter alone. Ah Sang wanted to continue their past relationship but didn't expect Penny's daughter to suddenly come back. Feeling helpless, Ah Sang jumped off the building. The next day, they returned to the team. Higher-ups informed that the mission was moved up, leaving only a week for training. Brother Ah Fang started combat drills. 4 fighter jets were split into 2 groups. While crossing the mountains, they had to loop and dive, maintaining low altitude. The attack target was less than 3 meters in width. The first group had to aim and fire laser beams, while the second group had to destroy the target based on the laser points. But the fate of the mission was doomed. After the bombing hit, all fighter jets had to vertically climb over the tall mountains. The F-18's maximum G-force is 7.5, but everyone had to exceed this limit. The schooling to a weight of 900 kilograms. If you can handle it, infant's death is inevitable. So show time. Whether you can break the limit or not, it was how everyone is going even though the time has no confidence, roads and correct, but it all depends on the flight. In this simulation task, Brother Tan played the enemy aircraft, harassing the trainee. He didn't aim precisely at the vibrating plane, allowing him to hit, but the pilot fainted from the extreme limit. Immediately, the plane began to drop freely. Brother Tan quickly pulled out strength, used a guided missile to lock the aircraft, and only then did the alarm wake the fainted trainee. Fortunately, before the plane crashed, a strong pull was exerted, and the aircraft flew up again. Brother Tan and the fellow trainee just caught their breath when they suddenly encountered a bad strike. The left engine was instantly destroyed. The trainee immediately climbed altitude to shut down the engine, but unexpectedly the right engine also malfunctioned. Restarting was useless and the plane went into a free fall.
This is my expression.
These 2 students stayed in the dormitory. They were Miyazaki's base flight attendants. This made Miyazaki very upset. He had the chance to ask Brother Ah Tang why he was stopped from joining the Naval Academy. Brother Ah Tang didn't want him to know it was at his mother's request. So, no matter how harsh Miyazaki's words were, Brother Ah Tang remained silent. Just then, he was notified that a soldier had passed away. Brother Ah Tang attended the soldier's funeral with tears in his eyes. Due to a cardiac thing he was permanently banned for. His superior took over Brother Ah Tang's teaching duties. Then he believed Brother Ah Tang's teaching was too intense, too dangerous. But the students knew in their hearts that if they couldn't pass Brother Ah Tang's training, they would be sending themselves to death in real missions. At that moment, an F-18 suddenly flew into the training airspace. Yes, it was Brother Ah Tang. He set a time limit of 2 minutes and 15 seconds, an almost impossible time frame. But Brother Ah Tang wanted to personally demonstrate the limits of human capability. With the engine at full throttle, he started the countdown, flying at high speed at ultra-low altitude, accompanied by the roaring sound. The constant changes are much harder for a retired pilot to endure compared to the students. Yet he will soon enter the combat zone following an extreme ascent, planning the perfect operations for revenge. The public got to see. Then Alan skillfully launched a laser-guided missile, completing the aim with time to spare. This extraordinary maneuver impressed everyone, including the higher-ups. However, instead of reinstating him as an instructor, they made him team leader, letting him execute missions personally. This is every top pilot's dream.
Correct.
But Alan also understands that the battlefield is unpredictable, so he embraced panic before heading to the carrier. Soon Alan calmly, keep moving forward.
Everyone stay safe. Let us be proud.
With the armor falling, Brother Tang stepped onto the battlefield again. He chose 4 people as the pilot and medic of Team F, while Brother Tang himself, the medic driver, chose to attack. The forward acted as backup support, and Brother Tang, as the team leader, was the first to start the engine. The remaining 3 large yellow beasts continued to rise into the sky and monitored the wind and rain environment in real time through the alert device. After confirming safety, Brother Nan coordinated the 4 warplanes to fly, with several thousand battle axe guided missiles aiming to take off. The target is our own airfield, and through the missiles, Brother Nan ordered all warplanes to enter attack mode. They need to enter the canyon before the bombardment. Fixed time 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Brother Nan led 4 F-18 aircraft flying at supersonic speed in the canyon, with their guided missiles close behind. His battle axe flew to the airfield immediately and found 2 anti-wolf speed flyers with the alert device. Soon the airfield was successfully bombed, but Brother Nan and another pilot perfectly maneuvered at high speed through the stone bridge. However, the trailing airfield attack fell significantly behind. Brother Nan decisively let him loosen up, and upon hearing the attack, he fully powered up and chased after. Soon reaching the first cliff, the 2 of them began to climb, successfully reversing with any reliance, and found the target. Successfully hit the target with 2 missiles upon hit.
Please remember to like.
Here, Brother Wang and another guy skidded off the cliff. The defense missiles were fired immediately. Under the influence of decoy flares, they managed to dodge an attack wave. But then as they flew out, they were hit by 4 more missiles. The enemy aircraft kept dodging and firing flares. At this point, the attacker evaded and took to the air, luring them into battle.
Se bägge vägar.
Chang was hit and chased down, but because the MiG-57 was nearby, there were no orders to pursue. The remaining F-18s were all down. This was the best choice to minimize losses. He waited for Ah Chang to regain consciousness in the snow, but found himself facing an armed helicopter. In a desperate sprint, he was hit by bullets and fell behind a tree trunk, only to delay the inevitable death. The attack saved A-Tang, but his helmet got hit as well. As soon as A-Tang parachuted, he ran to the breach point. Once he saw A-Tang, he pushed him down. Risking his life, he saved the attack. Now he's back and ready to fight. He quickly realized that if he were in the same position, A-Tang would do the same thing. Everyone on the mountain watched as A-Tang decided to hijack a fighter plane and took advantage of the chaos to enter a hangar. He went to kick an old F-14, got it ready, and A-Tang drove the F-14 out of the hangar. But it was bombed, and the bullets weren't enough to fly. If both people took off successfully, they would immediately find each other's signals. But then 2 Su-27s appeared below. Alan and his partner quickly suited up. As they returned to their positions, Leo entered an attacking position. Alan wanted the F-14 to engage the Su-27s. Although they didn't win, the attack allowed Alan to take a shot. an incoming missile, and then Ren quickly ascends, releasing countermeasures, broadcasting an intermission.
How about we eat together? See you next time.
Bewilderingly agile, the F-14 maneuvers into the narrow ravine, making it hard to target. However, the Mad Dog's machine gun can't hold off for long. For Washington, another wave of absolute skills ensued.
Bye-bye.
Change position. Alan launches a missile, but is counteracted by a decoy. Forward, further, and trajectory. Smoke released. Alan goes on a machine gun rampage, leading to the retreat. Alan used his last big bullet. With his battle achievement, 2 people could praise him for a lifetime. He took them to prepare for a bath several times. Goes ball. A speedboat met with the missile. By this time, Brother Tang had used up all his Beijing rounds and had no means of counterattack. He could only dodge the bullets as best as he could, then suddenly climbed up to launch an attack, creating a chance for a turnaround. After his successful attack, he realized there was no way to escape.
This is Jenga. This is Nevers. This is
The
Nevers.
originally rescuing tortoise successfully resolved the crisis, but afterward, the tortoise's big yellow bee first returned to the mothership. Because Alongche's F-14 landing gear was damaged, he had to use the protective net for a forced landing.
Bye-bye. Okay.
He successfully broke free from the mothership. This time, the entire team returned safely. Brother Adang once again completed his heroic feat. The barrier between him and the rooster vanished like clouds. After the mission, Brother Adang returned to his hangar. He saw Penny's daughter when he looked back, and Penny was waiting for him at the door. The beauty who got out of the car, the heroic figure. This scene was simply breathtaking.
Subtitles by Solanao. Please don't just like, subscribe, comment, share if you want to support Mingjing and Dian Dian.
This is a solid commercial film, but it still moves you. It makes you tense. It's not a war film, not an action movie. The protagonist getting defeated can be dark, but for a non-military enthusiast, it doesn't seem to matter. What's important are the friendships, the love, and the generational legacy that can bring you emotional impact. Thanks, Eternal Male God Tom, for bringing us this gift this summer.